You're listening to the official podcast of Bloodstock Open Air Festival. Bloodstock Radio.
Yes, hello, good evening and welcome to Bloodstock Radio, the official podcast of the Bloodstock Open Air Festival. My name is Squatter, this is podcast number 81, and with just 2 weeks to go to the festival now, it is a very busy one. So we're going to jump straight into it. Later in the show, we've got interviews and music with 2 more Metal to the Masses winners, and an interview with one of our 3 2019 main stage headliners. But before all that, we've got a brand new charity partner for Bloodstock 2019. They are called Young Minds, and I had a chat with them recently, so let's have a listen to that.
All things Bloodstock.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we are talking to our brand new charity partner for 2019. I'm talking to Lauren and Nick from Young Minds. How are you doing, guys?
Good, thank you. Yeah,
very well, thanks.
How are you?
Very well indeed. Bloodstock is fast approaching, so I just thought I'd get in touch with you guys and just introduce you to our Bloodstock listeners, and you can let us know what's going on with your charity. So tell us a little bit about. Well, first of all, what do the pair of you two do at Young Minds?
So I am the development officer. So I work with companies and work with fundraising events to raise money for Young Minds.
And I'm the campaigns manager, so that means running some of the campaigns we run to try and change government policies around mental health, but also to sort of give advice and support to young people. Okay,
excellent. That sounds good. So tell us a bit of background about Young Minds then, because I must admit it's not a charity that I've heard before. So I should imagine it's quite new to some of our listeners as well. So if you could just let us know just basics of the charity, how long they've been going for and what the main focus is.
Yeah, of course. So Young Minds is the UK's leading charity fighting for children and young people's mental health. So we started up around 25 years ago, and since we were established, we have made great strides towards reducing the stigma around mental health, and the crisis in children and young people's mental health is now widely recognised. However, we know that for many children and their families, help is much too difficult to find. So we have 4 main avenues of work, and we have Young Minds activists, and they are volunteers aged 14 to 25 who come from across England and who have experience relating to mental health. And what they do is they raise awareness of the issues impacting youth mental health and improve the experience of young people with mental health problems. And they do this by co-designing resources, speaking out in the media, and co-producing campaigns with us. We also have our free Parents Helpline, which provides practical advice and support to help worried and anxious parents support a child who's struggling to cope. And we train professionals who work with children so that they can provide the best possible support to children they work with. And finally, we campaign for meaningful and lasting change in government policy and the education system. So our mission is basically to make sure that all young people get the best possible mental health support and have the resilience to overcome life's challenges.
So how many of you are there roughly, and what sort of size of organisation are we talking? Because I think you were saying before you're nowhere near as big as our previous charity, Teenage Cancer Trust. So just give us a bit of an overview about that as well.
So our annual income is just over £5 million. So we fit into the small to medium sized charity fit. And staff wise, I think we have about 80 staff members.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say about not having come across this really. I mean, basically, Young Minds has historically been a really small charity, and just the last couple of years there's been so much focus on children and young people's mental health. It's become such a big issue that lots of people are thinking about. And we've really grown during that time. So, yeah, we're sort of, it's just something that we hear a lot of young people are concerned about, a lot of parents, and we're there to try and change things.
Do you also do things like, going out to schools and to youth clubs and to sort of things like that as well, to sort of spread the message around? And social media, I should imagine, as well, with the youth of today as well. That must be a big thing for you as well, yeah?
Yeah, we do loads on social media. We've got really good followings on social media, and we do big campaigns around things like self-harm or how to deal with anger, or how to deal with things like cyberbullying, that kind of thing. With youth clubs and schools, we work a lot to try and change the system so that there's more funding for youth clubs, and to make sure that teachers have got training. We don't do that much work directly in schools and youth clubs. We do a little bit through our young activists, but mostly it's trying to change the system.
We've had a bit of a focus on mental health on Bloodstock Radio over the last 12 months or so, because we've had some, quite high-profile musicians have been contributing stuff to it, and I myself joined the Samaritans a few months ago as well, and I must admit I'm surprised by the number of young people that are struggling with things just in general, and the amount of self-harm and things that are going on with people, and that even though it is elevated more in the media and more people are aware of it now, the numbers are still absolutely staggering, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. I mean, the official NHS stats suggest that 1 in 8 children and young people has a diagnosable mental health problem, but there are a lot more who are struggling to cope, and they just face all sorts of pressures. I mean, if you think of things like school stress, bullying, worries about body image, sometimes worries about finding work when they leave school, and the fact that it can be just really difficult to find help if you're struggling. So trying to get help from mental health services is hard. So there are lots of pressures. Social media now is kind of adding to some of those pressures. So yeah, there are a lot of young people who need help, and we're trying to make sure they can actually get it. I
mean, we've got a lot of young people that go to Bloodstock, obviously, but we do have a wide demographic as well. But, for me personally, I'm fortunate to have never really suffered with mental health problems. But the main reason that I wanted to get involved in the likes of the Samaritans and that is that it seems to be a lot of musicians as well who get a lot of mental health issues in the music industry, and it was just sort of reaching out from that side of things as well. So for me, I think it's a really good move for Bloodstock to be getting involved in mental health and being more visible about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're really grateful to be involved with Bloodstock as well, just to kind of the awareness raising aspect for the people there, and also to maybe raise awareness for our parents' helpline as well, because I guess that a lot of people going there were with parents as well. So I think for us it's just brilliant to spread the message more. And we've been involved with this kind of sector of music before as well. We've been involved with Kerrang. Papa Roach recently held a gig that raised money for us. So we know that this community is something that we're really interested in, and we're really happy to be raising awareness of mental health.
Yeah, and I believe it's going to be your first festival attendance, though. Is that right?
It is, as a charity and personally. But yeah, as a charity, it's our first festival appearance.
Well, we hope we'll make you very, very welcome indeed. So, obviously, we're used to having the Teenage Cancer Trust guys around the place and that lot. There's obviously going to be a lot more of them than probably you guys are bringing with you. But so what sort of thing are you looking at setting up at Bloodstock, and where are people going to be able to find you, and what sort of activities are you sort of thinking of doing at the moment?
So we're going to be having a stall there, and it's going to be staff and some very kind volunteers who will be coming along to help us out. And we are basically there to raise awareness of mental health and provide information. We won't be offering any direct support, but we know that there is that there for people if they need it. And we encourage people to come along, say hello to us. We've got a really good activity where you write in a speech bubble advice that you tell your younger self and pin it up on a board. So yeah, spread the message for people and to come along and see us.
Okay, cool. That sounds good. I mean, we've got, obviously, of our association with the Sophie Lancaster as well. They've got a similar little charity tent there as well. So, and I know that a lot of people go and visit them and just go and have a chat and obviously contribute, donate, buy a few bits and bobs. So, yeah, it'll be good to have you guys there with us. Yeah,
exactly. And because obviously we're the charity partner for the year, it's really nice for people to see where the money's going to, and they can ask us about the charity if they want as well. So it's about having that visibility.
Excellent. Well, that sounds good. Well, we look forward to welcoming you guys. Are any of you guys actually metalheads yourselves, or are you have you checked out any of the bands yet? Because it can get a little bit loud there,
We do have some metalheads amongst the volunteers who are coming along, and some festival goers. And one of them, Lydia, who's coming along, she's been to Bloodstock for the past 3 years, and she says just how much she loves Bloodstock, and it has a great atmosphere, and how friendly everyone is there, and she's particularly looking forward to seeing Anthrax. And then my brother is going to come along as well and volunteer, and he's looking forward to seeing Parkway Drive on the Saturday.
Well, hopefully you'll find some new music that you like as well while you're there as well. But yeah, hopefully, I say we've had a long-standing relationship with the Teenage Cancer Trust. They were our partners for 7 years, and we raised over £80,000 with them at Bloodstock. Wow. So hopefully we can, send a few more people your way. And I say it's more the awareness side of things as well. But we look forward to having you guys on board.
Brilliant, and thank you for asking us. We look forward to being there.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Well, we'll finish off with some Parkway Drive, because I believe your brother wanted to hear Carrion, didn't he, Lauren?
Yes, he did. He struggled to pick between a few, but yes, that was his choice.
Okay, well, that's what we'll finish off with, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the festival in August.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that was Lauren and Nick from Young Minds, and if you want to check out their website, it's youngminds.org.uk, and you can find them on social media. It's Young Minds UK on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And this is Parkway Drive with Carrion.
You're listening to Bloodstock Radio.
Okay, so that was Carrion by Parkway Drive, as requested by the brother of Lauren from Young Minds, who will be joining us at Bloodstock 2019 as our new official charity partner. So, could our headliner interview be with Parkway Drive? Well, I'm going to keep you guessing just a little bit longer on that, as we're now going to focus on our Metal to the Masses winners. We will shortly be hearing from our London winners, Empire Warning, but first up, we've got Voluntas, who won down in Bristol.
And now on Bloodstock Radio, a Bloodstock Metal to the Masses tour update.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we're talking to the next of our Metal to the Masses winners, and down in Bristol, it was Voluntas. How you doing, guys?
Yeah!
So yes, Bloodstock is nearly upon us, so you guys must be fairly excited, I should imagine.
Elated.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a long old road. We're excited, to say the least.
Yeah, I believe that your Metal to the Masses history has gone quite well, because I've been informed by our Mortishead, our friends at Mortishead who run it, that you were semi-finalists in 2017, finalists in 2018, and then won it in 2019. So that's the right way to be going.
You could say it went well, yeah.
Could say, yeah.
Yeah, cool. So it sounds like it was a quite a busy final with 7 bands competing and a headliner as well. And I also believe that there was some crossover in that some people were in more than one band and things like that. So tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, that would be 2 of us then. I drum in this band. And,
Who are you?
I'm Alex. Hello. And I do vocals in another band, which is something totally different. And thank God for Red Bull, otherwise I don't think I would have made it. 2 really energetic sets. I feel sorry for anyone who has to do 2 sets, but also really happy for them. It's so much fun playing it.
Double shift on the night. And who else did a double shift?
It was me, Caleb. I'm also in Deus Holocaustum. So yeah, it was the double shift for us. And then the drummer in Deus Holocaustum is also the drummer in Body Harvest, who headlined. So there was a lot of it going on.
Yeah, so you made sure that you hedged your bets there by basically being in as many bands as possible.
Pretty much. I mean, gotta say, they did give me a bit of stick over it, but...
Yeah, that wasn't me or Barton. Leave us out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so tell us a little bit about Voluntas. Tell us what type of music you play and how many of you there are.
Well, there's 4 of us. So you got myself playing rhythm guitar and lead vocals. Then you have Barton, who is on the bass and fulfilling the duties of the lowest, heaviest growls I've ever heard. Jesus Christ. Then we have Alex Bennett on the drums, who's, just driving forward with crazy rhythm. Then we got Caleb Schmidt on the lead guitar, shredding mad stuff. So, yeah, it's really good. And we play predominantly thrash metal. But there's elements of progressive metal and death metal in there. Like, the influences drawn on are mainly like Death, Pantera, Metallica, a bunch of others. Like Lamb of God, would you say?
Yeah,
Lamb
the amount
God,
of
Machine
different
Head?
bands that people have compared us to is there's a lot of variety.
Yeah, well, I've been. You guys have been recommended to me by Steve Evans, a mate of mine from Primordial Radio, and he's definitely said that I should check you out because I am a thrash fan. So yeah, it sounds like my cup of tea.
Awesome.
Brilliant.
So have you guys have any of you actually been to Bloodstock before as punters?
No, literally, I think this is all our first time. Yeah.
I thought you'd done it.
No. I've never had any money, so. But yeah, it's always been a festival we wanted to go to. I am particularly fond of all the heavier stuff, which traditionally Bloodstock's always had the heaviest lineup. So it's a dream to play it, definitely.
Cool. So, are there any other bands that are playing over the weekend that you guys are looking forward to seeing and that you're really, really hoping you don't clash with?
Children of Bodom, yeah, that's the one we're really hanging on for in that regard.
Tesseract. Up in here.
Tesseract, okay.
Yeah, so how did you find the Metal Masses process then? It's interesting to me when bands come back and keep going even though they don't get through to Bloodstock. So what was it that kept you guys coming back for it? What did you get out of it even though you didn't actually make it in the past?
Well, with the whole process, because you get so many bands coming into it, you get, I think Bristol's, you end up with something around 30 bands playing. So not only do you get, because the audiences that are drawn to a Metal to the Masses gig, like in the heats, you get something like 40 to 60 people, and then semi-final you get like 60 to 80, and then I think the final we just played, we had, I want to ballpark it around like 120, so you get good audiences, but not only that, but you also get to meet other bands. So when you're looking to set up your own gigs, or if you're looking to be like invited to gigs, you get a lot of contacts in like the music scene, and they're not all necessarily from Bristol. We had a bunch of bands like Panic Switch. They came from Cheltenham. Yeah, that was it. And then you had Pillar as well last year, which was from Worcester. So they do tend to come from different places. Like Trep and Noir, who were finalists this year, were also from Wales. So it does build up your sort of like contacts for finding future gigs and playing future shows and stuff, as well as just like being able to play a show with the chance to earn a slot of Bloodstock.
Oh, good. That's good to know. Cool. So, so what music have you guys got out there at the moment? Because we're going to hear some at the end of the interview to get a sort of a feel for what we can expect on the new Blood stage. So, what have you got out there?
Well, I think we've got an EP coming out pretty soon. Walk to Hell.
What have we got out right now?
Into the Black's out right now,
and also War Torn was released last Friday, the day before the final. We dropped our second single, which is called War Torn. And so we're at the moment, there's 2 singles available from the 5-track EP coming out next month. And yeah, they're on Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, all the usual suspects. And there's also a playthrough video available on our Facebook page for wartime. So you can see how me and Caleb do that on our respective guitars.
Okay, so we're going to hear one of those tracks now. So we're going to hear Into the Black. So if one of you guys can introduce that for us, and thanks for talking to us, and we'll see you at Bloodstock.
This is Balloon Task with Into the Black.
Okay, next up on Bloodstock Radio, we're talking to another of our Metal to the Masses winners, and down in London, it was Empire Warning. How are we doing, guys?
Yeah, we're good. How are you?
I am very well indeed. It has been a long time since we last spoke, when I used to cover the Metal to the Masses before I started working for Bloodstock. So, it was great to see your guys' name getting pulled out there. So, how are you feeling about it all?
Yeah, no, it was a nice, it was a mix between shock, excitement. I didn't know how to react, to be fair. It was, it's been a long journey to get here, and it's been pretty amazing, and kind of upset that we can't re-enter the competition now.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's the thing. But the thing with these things, I mean, a lot of bands sort of see it, as you say, when you've been on a long journey, when you've entered Metal to the Masses several times, you got close before, and then you make it. A lot of bands sort of say, "Oh my God, yeah, we made it." But the idea is that this is a springboard. This is we're sending you out into the big wide world. You're going to be playing at Bloodstock in front of thousands of people. So that's for you to then take and go with it. This is not the end of the road. This is the beginning of it.
Exactly. Hopefully, we're putting in all the groundwork now so that can happen. Like it's really nice, the competition itself, being able to build brotherhoods and stuff with all the other bands that are competing. But now, being sent out into the big wide world, as you said, is it's a daunting, exciting task right now.
Yeah, the stabilizers are off.
yeah, it's exactly that. And I say, but it's we're here to hold your hand. Don't worry, we're not going to just push you and let you go.
Oh, good.
Okay, so let's tell our listeners a little bit about the band. Obviously, I know a little bit about you guys, but yeah, just tell our listeners what type of music you play, how long you guys been going for, and stuff like that.
Well, we're a heavy metal band. Cover all genres of it, really. As far as how long we've been around, I'd say, 12 years now, is it?
No, it's less than that.
Yeah.
It is 10 years now.
I've been in for 8, I think.
Yeah. 10 years of
since we've had a name,
putting up with each other. We class ourselves as a metal band now. There was a point where we were groove metal and this, that, and the other, but we just dip into everything. We just love heavy music, so we just like to think we have a core sound. We venture out, but we always come back to what makes us us, and we hope other people enjoy what we do.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. I have to say that when I was back in contact with you guys again, I was reminded of a conversation that took place about a year ago, which was a very, very upset Ben. And I'm literally reading it off my screen. At this moment, I question if we will ever take part in Metal to the Masses again, because I know that you guys were so disheartened last year when you went out. So what was it that made you go again? And obviously, you're sitting here now and you're going to Bloodstock. So obviously, you're pleased that you changed your mind. But it just shows the range of emotions that you can get with these things.
Yeah, you put everything into it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Emotionally draining if you lose.
Yeah, it's emotionally.
When you win.
Yeah, exactly. I think it comes down to the fact that, without sounding really a bit lovey, as artists, that you put so much of yourself into something that you just get really disillusioned when it doesn't pay off. And there was certain things about that night. The bands that went through should have gone through. Let's be fair. But I was just so sad because we put so much in, and then we came back to the drawing boards.
Made us a better band.
Yeah, exactly.
We all got tighter, and the songs
and
were better. Yeah.
Again, the band camaraderie as well.
Yeah, we sort of supported each other, built each other back up, readdressed where we were at as a band, started writing again, started getting new things done, and actually found ourselves a lot more last year than we had done in any other previous year. And things just, where we always thought that we clicked, things just fell into place in the rehearsal room, and we were just like, oh my God.
It's back.
Yeah, it's back. This is like
it
took that level of despair to reignite a level of passion that I don't think we realised that we'd lost. But then when we found it, we're like, God, this is where we're meant to be.
No, that's good. I say everyone has their own journey with Metal to the Masses, and that, and bands do get disappointed, and sometimes they walk away, and sometimes. But I think it's one of those things where you get out of it what you put into it. You talked about the camaraderie, you talked about the pushing yourselves and stuff like that. But a lot of bands will find that it's just not for them. Sometimes it's just not for them. But obviously, I'm really pleased that you guys changed your mind and decided to go back into it. And
so we
put it down to sheer stubbornness.
Yeah. Well, that conversation finished with thanks, Squatter. Sorry to vent on you all. Thanks for the microtherapy. Please don't bill me. I'm broke. So you're not the first. Let me just say, you're not the first band that's done that. There's a few other bands that I've been. We're not really sure whether we should do it. What do you think? There was another band last year, Sertraline. Lizzie messaged me. We're thinking about entering Metal to the Masses again. What do you think? Do you think we should do it? And I said, well, it's up to you. What, I just talked to her. Didn't tell her to do it. Just said, whatever you do. They ended up winning last year and played Bloodstock. So sometimes it just sort of works out like that. And I think attitude, what you put in, you tend to get out.
Well, exactly. And the thing is, I think a lot of people turn to talk to you because you're so supportive of the unsigned scene that it is, you're such an open person to be able to approach. And that's amazing. That's one of the things that we really hold you in high regard for.
Well, I'm going to start charging, so...
It's all right, we won this time, so...
Yeah, you guys are out of it, so let's talk a bit about Bloodstock then, because obviously you're going to be there in just a few weeks' time. So, how is that sounding at the moment? Just thinking, oh my God, and have you guys been before as punters and things like that?
Yeah, I'm still processing it, to be honest.
I went a long time ago when it was still an indoor event because Orange Goblin were headlining. So that's how long it's been since I've gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think... I think Jordan might have, our drummer, but he's MIA at the minute.
That's drummers for you, mate.
But we've never had the opportunity or chance with everything that was going on to actually go to the festival. So that's something that's super exciting.
It's a buzz to see your name on the same bill as the Scorpions and Sabaton, though. To be honest, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
It still feels very surreal.
Well, as I say to all the bands, you can put that on your CV. You've been on the same bill as those guys. Some bands, if you play like last, you can pretty much say you supported them. Really,
exactly.
If you're playing later on in the day and you're just behind the headliners going on, you can get away with that.
That's it. So it makes us look special.
Which bands are you looking forward to seeing at the festival then? Is there any that you're really looking forward to catching and really hoping that you don't clash with?
I mean, I know we're not going to clash with Parkway Drive. I'm quite excited to see them live.
Yeah.
Because I know that they get a very mixed bag of reviews and I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to see them. Looking forward to seeing Rich and the rest of Charybdis.
Yeah.
Really wanting to check out Footprints in the Custard as well.
Yeah. You say that now. Once you're mentally scarred afterwards, you're just like, oh my God, that's going to be an eye opener for quite a few people on the Thursday night. That's the night that people tend to get the most wrecked. So being drunk and watching Footprints in the Custard can be a memorable experience, let's say. But yeah.
There's a lot of bands on the New Blood stage that I'm mostly looking forward to. Like, I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time there. I'm looking forward to seeing Soulfly. I haven't seen Soulfly in a long time. But yeah, it looks like instead of spending time at the Ronnie James Dio stage, I'll be a lot of my time at the New Blood stage, which is a very exciting prospect.
Yeah, it's the way to do it. I mean, there are people that spend their whole weekends at the New Blood now. It's got that sort of reputation now, and I used to do it even before I'd even started doing the radio shows again. To be honest, I mean, I remember going to Download in like 2012 or something like that, and I went around all the sort of little smaller stages and that, like just trying to find some cool new bands, sort of thing. Really, so it all depends what you're looking for. A lot of people just stay at the main stage all weekend, but you can find some absolute belting bands. And obviously, we've been covering them on Bloodstock Radio. We're playing all the Metal to the Masses winners. So I've seen quite a few.
Great.
Yeah, well, I'll say that it's the standard goes up every year. You get a different bag each year, and now that we've got people reporting in from all the different regions and stuff, then you tend to get a bit more from that as well. So yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a really good weekend in the New Blood tent and a really good weekend overall.
Yeah, it's looking fantastic. It's all set up to be so good. It's, playing there, seeing the other acts that are on there. It's an exciting weekend.
Yeah. Make sure that you maximise the use of your access to the press tent as well. Get yourself some press set up. I see you're working with Fat Angel as well. They will definitely make sure that they get you some interviews and that. In fact, Angel's already been hassling me, but I think I'll probably have a chat to you guys anyway. We'll see how we go. But
yeah, like I said, I owe you a hug anyway.
Yeah, I'll say the hug's been coming for years, mate. So yeah,
it's worth the wait.
So it's really easy to spot where we are. So it's the VIP area, and then in between the VIP area and the press area, there is a white picket fence. And if you just look for Mick Wood sleeping against that fence, then
Oh, I've seen the picture.
Yeah, it's a really easy landmark. So I tell all the bands, just look for the bloke that's asleep against the white picket fence, and that's where we are.
Yeah, and I've seen the picture of Mick on that tent, on that fence even.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful picture.
The thing is with Mick, you know what he's like. He works bloody hard all year round, and Bloodstock's the same as the rest of us. It's a chance to let off steam, a chance to party and that. And him and Gordon are usually just absolutely wrecked, absolutely wrecked all weekend. You know, so it'll be good. But yeah, Mick's a legend, isn't he? Though
he's incredible. Yeah. He's going back a good few years when we first met him as Empire Warning, and this was even before Grant had joined the band. He had some choice advice to give us because we weren't of a standard. And then years later, when we crossed paths again, before we even started talking to Mick or becoming friends or anything with him, the first thing he said to me was, "You guys take advice well." Yeah. And then after that, just seeing how hard the man works, what he does for the London scene. He's an absolute sweetheart at heart, but he is...
He even puts up with a lot of stick from bands as well.
Yeah, exactly. And he's just so switched on. He's an incredible asset to what we've got going on the metal scene and the alternative music scene in London, that we can't thank him enough for what he's done for us. Yeah. And sort of the support, the advice, and just being an all-round good guy. Except when he's on stage and he likes to pick on me for almost dying.
Yeah. Twice.
Well, he tends to waffle. He tends to waffle a bit, and he drags out the announcements and everything.
He loves it. He loves it.
Yeah,
give the man a mic, and he will speak for days.
He does indeed. So yeah, unfortunately, I've now relocated back into North Wales, so I haven't been to any of for the first time for donkey's years. I haven't been to any of the London Metal to the Masses Heats this year. So the standard, I'm assuming, was as good as ever. I remember you were saying about the semi-final that you went out in last year. I went to the other one. I went to the first semi-final where and all 6 bands were absolutely incredible. So I know that the standard is still sky high. Yeah.
To be fair, the standard was so high, and not putting ourselves down in any way. Like when we got to the final, we were like, you know what?
We're happy.
We've got to the final. We're happy. Let's just have fun, give it everything we've got, because you have bands like Zero, who got the guest slot, who are fantastic. Orbital Junction were amazing. Detoxin were amazing. Symbol of Orion were great. Lowen were fantastic. Everyone on that final was just, it could have been anyone's. I bet I do not envy Rob's decision at the end of the night, I gotta say.
It is always different. I have seen a few of them. Zero I saw with Suma over in Guildford last year, and I thought they were very good. And in fact, I might have even spoke to them about Metal to the Masses as well. I think I asked them if they'd ever entered it. And the other one, Detoxin, absolutely love them. Seeing them a few times at Thrashosaurus, and being a thrash fan, they are just absolutely love their stuff.
And their energy and Tom's bass playing is mad. But yeah, them we really sparked up a really close friendship with them and Orbital Junction, who people should check out. They're both fantastic. All the bands at the London final.
We like the competition so much.
Because you make friends. Like Dead Before Morning became some of our best friends. We love those guys dearly.
Yeah, they were brilliant. We had a good chat to them with Bloodstock TV at the festival last year as well, and they're just great lads, great to talk to. Proper old London boys, and it was just really, really great.
Yeah, they're brilliant. We got all the time in the world for those guys, and we can't wait to hit the stage with them again soon.
Yeah. Cool. Right, okay. Well, yes, we're all about done with that, I think. So we'll have a listen to some of your music. And I believe you've got a new EP coming out that I've had a little sneaky preview of. So,
you weren't meant to tell them.
All right, then let's edit that bit out then. I have not heard an EP. I have no idea what you're talking about.
You can keep that in. You're just not meant to have told these 4.
Oh, right, okay. Shush. I haven't heard that at all.
Neither have we, funny enough.
So we're going to hear a song, Verge of Insanity. And you've got a really cool little lyric video for it as well, by a dear friend of mine, Mr. Adam Lead, has done for us.
Yeah, he recently has just we got hold of him, and him with his Dark Fable Media stuff is great. I know Adam from In Search of Sun and back when they were Driven, so he's a lovely guy, and he does some great work.
Yeah, I've known him again the same since they were Driven as well, and I've got a funny story with Adam. So very quickly, a few years ago, he was advertising for people to be in a music video, and let's say I know In Search of Sun. I didn't know what he did for a living, so I just literally went, there you go, yeah, okay, I'll come down and help out. So I went down to London, filmed this video, didn't get told what it was or anything. It was like this sort of fights, like a fight club sort of thing. And when I got there was a guy who was playing the guy running the fight club, and he was supposed to be dragging out a body from the ring, and he was struggling with it. So the camera guy asked me to do it, so I did it, and I ended up getting a part in it. So basically there's like 3 main people in it. So the 2 fighters, one of which is Adam and this other guy, and me running the fight club. And it's only little bit parts of it. Obviously the main bit's about the fight. So they film it, we go home. I missed my last train, so Adam actually gave me a lift home. He drove me all the way back to Bedford, bless him.
Oh, I remember you saying that on Facebook a long time ago as well.
And then a week later, I get a release form to sign, and I'm thinking, this is all very formal. And it turned out the video was for Airborne. And I'm just like, what?
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
And I didn't know. I genuinely had filmed it all. I'd gone home. No one had mentioned it when we were there. And I'd filmed it all, and I'd gone home. And it wasn't until I got the release form that I realized, because I thought no one was going to, in Search of Sun, I've obviously got a smaller following than Airborne. So I'm thinking, maybe a few hundred people will see it. They announced it, and like 500,000 people saw the preview of it. And I'm like, oh my God. And I've got no idea how many people have seen it now. But if I'd known more than a handful of people were going to see it, I would have actually acted rather than actually just looking startled. So so that was my introduction into video. And then he asked me to do a follow up, and he said, we're doing this video, and I've got a part for you in it. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And he says, it's like an exorcism scene, and you've got to be the priest. I'm like, I can't do that. My mum would kill me. I can't. No. So not been in one since, but yes. That's my story with Adam, and great lad, great band, but I wish you'd have told me. The lyric video will be out very, very soon, folks, so check that out if and when it comes out. And we'll see you guys at Bloodstock. So you can introduce this song for us, and we'll see you there.
We are Empire Warning, and this is Verge of Insanity.
Can we try that again?
You could do it again if you really want to.
All right, let's do it all together like a cheesy Brady Bunch band, right? 1, 2, 3. This is Empire Warning. This is... The man's got things to do. Let's get it right.
Yeah. We are, yeah?
Right, we are, yeah?
Yeah, we are.
1, 2, 3. We are Empire Warning, and this is Verge of Insanity.
I am leaving all of that in.
In a place where Hi, this is H. Massed Rain. You are listening to Bloodstock Radio, the podcast that just keeps on popping.
Okay, that was Verge of Insanity from Empire Warning, our London Metal to the Masses winners. And before that, we had words and music from Voluntas from Bristol. And don't forget that we're going to be doing that with every one of our 31 Metal to the Masses winning bands, so you can check them all out ahead of the festival and get them down on your Clash Finders. Okay, before we go into our final feature, I will just quickly let you know that we've had a few announcements over the last couple of days. Yesterday we were told that Vicky and Adam will be doing one last Facebook Live Q&A next Tuesday, that's the 30th of July at 7 p.m. We've also got the Bloodstock Ticket Selfie competition ongoing, where you can win Bloodstock goodies. And today we've also found out who and what will be appearing in the Ram Gallery and what the late night entertainment is, including which films will be shown in the New Blood tent on Thursday, Friday and Saturday. All that information can be found on the Bloodstock website and social media, but I think it's finally time for that interview with one of our main stage Bloodstock 2019 headliners, and I have to give a big shout out to Ron Morrow from Metal Nation Radio for sending this in to us. We're also going to be following it up with a track from their brand new album. So here is Ron's chat with the lead singer of Sabaton.
The big interview.
I am so happy to have Joachim of Sabaton. How are you doing, Joachim?
Very good, thank you. Everything all right with you?
Absolutely ecstatic, even more because I'm looking forward to the Great War on the 19th of July.
So am I. I'm getting a bit nervous now. It's like, sending your kid off to college, you try to raise it as good as you could, but now it's time for the real life,
Because this is your 9th album, 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, it feels weird because I realized, me and Pat are still, we're under 40. We realized, when we announced that we were having a 20th anniversary, that we've been in the same band for over half our lives, Yeah, I've been doing this for 20 years. That's something your dad told and you just thought, oh, for fuck's sake,
Yeah, but time does fly so fucking quickly nowadays as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. I don't know why, but in a sense, I'm happy because we're doing, what we love to do, and time flies when you're having fun. So I guess it makes sense.
So the Great War, was it a similar sort of recording process as it was for the previous albums?
Well, yeah, we were in the same house or same building, but a different studio actually this time around. But we've been working with Jonas, who did this one before, for others extra songs. He did Bismarck for us, for example, as well. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't really different. And Tommy was the first album for him with Sabaton, the new guitar player. Well, not so new anymore. He's been in the band for 2.5 years. It's pretty smooth by now. Maybe that we might have some performance anxiety in the songwriting process. Intellectually we know not every Sabaton song can be the best Sabaton song ever, but emotionally we really want it to. So there might be some hiccups along the way, or anguish while writing the album. But the recording itself is probably one of the smoothest we ever had in our career. And I think, for example, the second song, 7 Pillars of Wisdom, has some of the best guitar and drum work Sabaton has ever had.
Yeah, you'd released Fields of Verdun as the first single. Was that always a plan for that to be the first release?
No, we had no idea.
All right.
Because, we have a feeling for the songs when you're writing them and, go into the recording, but you never really know which ones translate well from pre-production into, finished album version. So we usually have, we get 2 out of 3 right, which ones are going to work and not. And it was the case in this one. We couldn't decide which one would be first, but it felt like Verdun is such a, it's the longest battle of World War I, 303 days, and such an important battle as well. So we figured, let's just go with that. It was nice to have a single for once that's a little bit more guitar-driven rather than rhythm or synth-driven.
Yeah. For this album, lyrically, did you do more research? Because obviously the lyrics of every song are about events or stories from World War I. So was there a lot of research into this?
Yeah, actually more than usual. Not because it was trickier, really, but we're so fed with information and documentaries and movies about World War II and other things like that. So it's what would be considered common knowledge about military history. I guess 30% of it consists of, World War II, and only maybe 10% of World War I. But at least what we learn in the Swedish education system. And if you're going to Netflix to try and get a documentary, there's probably 15 World War II related things compared to one, for World War I. And it's a bit further back in time. So it's a bit trickier, but also quite fun then, because it was pretty new. So in the discovery phase, when you're discovering a new story, you get really excited about it. That's actually the perfect time to write the lyrics, because, if you try and write lyrics about those events, 6 months later, it's not new to you, so you're not passionate about it in the same way.
Right, the Bismarck song, was that, that's not part of the album, that's like, was that a special release for a gaming thing?
No, it was actually our way of saying thanks to our fans for 20 years of service, I guess, to put it in military terms. It's actually one of the most requested topics we ever had, and we had it for so many years, and we had plans for making a Bismarck song, but we never could make it fit on an album for several reasons. And one time we had the story, but we didn't have the music that fit, and yada yada, and now we just thought, hey, let's do a song and a video, and just give it out for free to our fans on YouTube as a 20th anniversary thing, And we managed to, of course, hook up with Wargaming to make a cool video together, because they got World of Warships going on. Mm-hmm. And we've been working with them together before, so that was amazing. But it kind of backfired on us, because we thought it was supposed to be a free thing, and then all of a sudden people are like, well, when can we get it on Spotify or Apple Music? It was like, oh, we didn't have that set up already. Okay. But, yeah, it seems like people enjoyed it, which we're happy about. But the intention was never to, release it per se.
Right, Sabaton History, your YouTube channel. Congratulations, you've had the Silver Award already.
Yeah, we were hoping for a Silver Award, of course, but we thought it would take us at least 6 months to a year to get there. But we started in February, so that was fast.
Yes, I mean, you'll be getting the gold one soon, I think.
Oh, I'm hoping for that at least. It's actually the most fun I've ever had doing something else than, being on stage and recording music. I mean, we have our Sabaton Cruise and the Sabaton Open Air Festival, and they're great to do. But this, for every episode we do, it's like I learned something new, and we thought we'd done our homework, but obviously our expertise only reaches amateur level, and there's a whole new depth to all of it when you get Indy and the guys to actually research it and do a movie of it.
And it so much connects a lot of fans from all other countries to YouTube, so it works both ways.
Yeah. I love it. I mean, it's so great also that YouTube is finally becoming a serious platform instead of, somewhere where we upload videos of cute kittens and stuff.
I'm stoked you are headlining Friday at Bloodstock. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really like that festival. It still has that small festival vibe and feel to it, even though it's not by any means a small festival. No. But it says something about the community and the visitors that go to that festival, because it's one of my favorites to just walk around the area and watch bands and, have a drink and enjoy. And it seems like usually when we've been there, I think we've been there three times in the past, and it's almost always been pretty decent weather, which is unusual for this island.
Maybe you bring the good weather, maybe.
Scandinavians bringing good weather, are you joking me?
I take it you'll be doing lots of songs from the Great War, because the album will be out when you play Bloodstock.
Yeah, I mean, the whole stage set, we have a totally new stage set, new pyro and everything. It's pretty damn cool, if I may say so myself. And we're also revisiting, other World War I related songs from our, earlier albums that we haven't played in a while. So that's a nice, cool touch. So very much so. There will be quite a big focus on World War I and those conflicts. But of course, we're not gonna ignore songs like Primo Victoria and, Ghost Division and stuff like that, because that needs to be in a Sabaton show, if you ask me.
Yeah. Well, Joachim, it's been 20 years, and I hope you go for another 20, because I just love what you guys do.
Yeah, so do I. 20 more years, that'll make it 40.
You'll be 60.
Yeah.
I'll be 70.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, but that'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, look at some of the rock and roll's finest. I mean, Dio was still great until he died, and he was closer to 70 than 60, right?
Yeah, Ozzy's still going as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. Well, it'll work, definitely. Sabaton in the year 2040. Let's do it.
2040, yeah. 2060, maybe not.
Joachim, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. I'll see you at Bloodstock.
Thanks very much, man.
In the draft of 1917, a man from Tennessee. Overseas to the trenches he went, from the land of the free. Into war he brought two things along, a rifle and his faith. Joined the ranks as a private assigned to 338th. There, on that day, Elvin York entered the fray, saving the day, 82nd all the way. Into the fires of hell they are gone, a hero to be. Enter the wall from over the sea. Intervene 1918, all the way from Tennessee into 123. When his faith has been put to the test, the call to arms he heeds. On the 8th of October he went, made a sergeant for his deeds. Fearlessly in the raid of the war, machine gun on the hill. Charge the enemy, taking the prisoners by power of his will. There, on the day, Sergeant York entered the fray, saving the day, 82nd all the way. Into the fires of hell they are gone, a hero to be. Enter the wall from over the sea. Intervene 1918, all the way from Tennessee into 123. What Sergeant York achieved that day would echo to the USA. It's 82nd all the way, death from above, what they now say. What Sergeant York achieved that day echoes from France to the USA. It's 82nd all the way, death from above, what they now say. Into the fires of hell they are gone, a hero to be. Enter the wall from over the sea. Intervene 1918, all the way from Tennessee into 120. Hell they are gone, a hero to be. Enter the wall from over the sea. Intervene 1918, all the way from Tennessee into 123.
By the fans, for the fans. Bloodstock Radio.